Okay, here's a brief overview of what we're looking for and how to work in RS. All right, so here's just a sample one we have here. Mr. Jose Vedia, thank you for allowing us to use yours. Transaction ID 787. Now, when you look at your checklist, you should see 787 at the top, and that's where we usually go to the search and we type 787 and it'll pull this file up. This is what you're going to see. Now, this particular file has closed. I should say it has not closed. It has gone to closing. I have prepared a check for Mr. Vedia. However, I have not given it to him because, as you can see, the paperwork has not all been turned in, and apparently there's some missing. All right, so let's go from the beginning. All right, so again, 787 is the big one. One of the most important things I want to be done here is this right here. This will come blank anytime we start a brand new transaction. The S is for sale. That's a sale in the year 2013. Now, you'll notice there is unusual letters here, and let me explain to you how that works. The PEM is for Pembroke, and the SHA would be for the seller's last name. SHA. That way, if the seller calls me, I'll say what are the last three letters, and I can go to search. I can do SHA, and I'll be able to locate this file because they're not going to know, a buyer or seller are not going to know 787. And for some reason, perhaps maybe they don't even know the address. I've had this happen, that they didn't know the address. They just knew it was a property and that they were interested in purchasing it or something of that nature. And I need to go to that file. So this is why we do this, and this is why it's important. So please make sure that you do this. I typically put the seller's 3, and then I do the street name. This was done the opposite way, but I'm okay. Honestly, either way is acceptable for me. But it's important that you put that S13. Now, if it is a rental, it would be an R13. Very, very important that we understand this. Okay, so let's go down here. Was there a referral? If you're aware and Jose has told you that there's a referral, you need to fill this in. If there's a combo on the property, we need to know the combo code. So when people call the office, we don't have to search for Jose and try to track him down. We can go into RS right away and see the combo code for this particular house. Not every property has a combo box, but if they do, or guys, this is a good place for us to start assigning serial numbers to the to the central lock boxes that we have. This is a great place to store them, but we'll also have a separate checklist for that. Your bill. It's very important that you add this. Every time I want to see our clients' names and the other side names, I want to see it on here. It's very easy to write the letters when you type it in here. But as you can see, that these things got left blank, which is why I really want to get this stuff filled in. Tags I don't typically use, but if you want to do seller or listing, you could do that because then we could know that this is a company listing and not we're working with a buyer. And we're working for the seller. So those tags are very helpful. You must fill in the address. If Jose did not start the file with the address, you must fill it in. You'll notice a lot of these agents get a little bit lazy or they're just really busy, okay? And they need our assistance. So, and the bad news is once they start a transaction, they cannot come back in and edit it. The system does not have the capabilities to allow it. Only we do. Okay, so this is important. Always mark the seller. Or buyer, whatever it is. Okay, asking price. You're going to see a lot of this is not filled out properly most of the time, to be honest with you. It's our job to find that MLS number. Go to MRIS and find it. It's our job to put this listing expiration. Why? Because, guys, when the listing is about to expire, I need to know so that I can let Jose know, and Jose will see on the system that his listing is about to expire, and it's a reminder for him to contact the seller and get an extension. Now, just to let you know, if we have a contract on the property, the listing does not need to be extended. It automatically, our listing agreements have it built in that if the property goes under contract, the listing continues whether it would, it's past its time or not. It's just if we don't have a buyer that this becomes an issue, and we don't want to lose a listing because we weren't paying attention. Asking price and contract price need to be on there. Obviously, if we don't have an offer yet, we would just have this section filled out. Okay, but once we have a contract, we need to make sure this is filled out. This is for accuracy. of my files. The accounting version of this and the agent stats will not populate correctly if this is not in here. This is why I'm so it's so important to get this stuff done. I'm not asking because I don't want to waste anyone's time. Trust me, if there's something that's a waste of time, I'm going to tell you not to do it. All right. EMD, this is one of my big deals. Okay, this is the biggest deal you can possibly come up with. Number one, EMD, was it us or someone else? In this particular case, it was someone else. I don't care as much if it's someone else, but if it's us, it's very important that this be filled out correctly. Other brokerage, yes, I want it filled out, but the main point is this affects my escrow account, and I need to know if I have this money in my account or if I don't. So again, if it's not held by us, put other brokerage. If it is held by us, now you'll notice there are some designated agent files in here. In other words, one agent is handling the seller, one agent is handling the buyer. Now you'll notice some of the agents that are representing the buyer will have the EMD put on theirs. And it'll say this brokerage and it'll say the actual amount there. Now you'll notice on the seller's side, we don't want to double the deposits because remember, it'll show up as 2 deposits when we only have 1. So regardless, I still need to know that it's being held by this brokerage, but we could leave the seller side to say 0. And then you make a note. EMD reflected in file number blah, 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 as our agent, whatever our agent is, Giovanni Santa Anna, is representing the purchaser. Okay? This is very important that you take good notes and let me know what's going on here. You can find all of this information by opening these files and looking through the actual documents. Okay, you can clearly see by clicking this full listing, you can download it here, and once you open it, you can see, is this our listing? Yes or no? Because sometimes they won't even fill out that information. Now, if you notice, it says listing company, Jose Vedia, which means we are representing the seller. Sometimes you won't see that. You know, they won't have it filled out, so you don't know. All right. Now, let's just say I reviewed all of these files and I found some things missing. Because remember, we're supposed to be using our checklist, and on the back of the checklist, we've marked the 2 boxes, or if we're just representing the purchaser, the one at the bottom, because remember, the bottom boxes are for buyers, tops are for sellers. If you're representing a seller, you got to have one at the top and one at the bottom. Let's just say, for instance, we're missing a letter or proof of deposit, okay? We click this box right here. Okay, so this was nice that Sandy, you notice she put her initials. It's very important to put your initials and what date. Missing letter or proof of deposit from the other side. Okay, I'm going to actually take this out. The other proof of deposit from the other side is a suggestion, is not required. So I'm going to remove that. But let's go back here and pretend there were some other things missing. Let's just say that the sales contract was missing an initial on page 8. All I have to do is submit there. And now when I'm done, I hit send agent an email. If for some reason it gives you an error, occasionally you do that, we want to notify Mark at Realty Sync, and you can contact me for that information. Or you can also just send the email to the agent directly. You know, go into your email and type in, hey, Jose, just want to let you know in file number 787, which happens to be Pembroke Village, you're missing. And make sure that you reference the address because they probably do not know what 787 is. You're missing, you know, the initial on page 8. So please make sure that you get that to me right away. Then we leave them alone. We leave them alone until we get the check. Then we're going to give them one more notice of the things that are missing. Always make sure that you put them over here. If it's a long list, I prefer you go through these. But honestly, if it's, you know, if you have to just type it, remember to put the date and put your initial. That's fine as well. Again, like I said, I prefer you to go through the actual forms because it makes it easier for us to quickly identify what is missing. But again, you know, this is how I know. When I open the file, I look right here and I say, okay, there's things wrong with it. Let me identify what's wrong with it and see if there's anything I can do to assist. or get this, taken care of. So this is very, very important that we make sure that we get this done. Okay, so hopefully that helps. Remember the drop files. If there's something that Jose has put on your desk or put on my desk, something, we can always scan it in and save it on our desktop and drop them in here. Remember, only PDFs go in here. No other forms of paperwork can go in here. And it looks as if 15 megabytes is the maximum size. Okay, guys, that's it for now. Thank you.